down to some of the Abilene, or not Abilene, but yeah, Abilene, Kansas. But we went there, and looked at some of the places where the old cattle drives ended and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It used to be the home of the cavalry.
Right.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there are graves there from some of the horses that survived Custer's last stand.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Comanche was the name of, I think, one of the horses.
Then he got home from Fort Riley, and his unit here was leaving for summer camp in Wisconsin. And he found out almost at the last minute that they expected him to go.
Well, I was supposed to be in for 6 months, but I was only in for 5 months because the 9th Division got orders cut to go to Fort Polk, Louisiana for jungle training. And all the guys that were my cadre and my in 1st Division, 63rd Armored were cut orders and transferred to the 9th Division and became the cadre for the 9th Division. So they were all going to Vietnam too. And so all one day I woke up and there was nothing for me to do. So they sent me home. And because I went home 5 months, in 5 months, didn't have the full 6 months of active duty. I got home in time to be reactivated in my local unit and had to go to summer camp.
How long were you with the Navy then?
Yeah.
How long were you with them?
7, 8 years.
All 6 years.
Did you ever know any names like Schwinger?
Yeah.
I served with him on the one of his crew.
Have fun. See you when it's time to eat.
When I got there, they tried to turn me into, I ended up applying for a commission, spent a year going to interviews and what have you in Chicago and different places. And then got denied by the Pentagon because I was in the civil engineering unit and didn't have a civil engineering.
Yeah, that's why we were here.
So,
Maybe it's just kind of covered these.
That's what they get headquarters, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
For the engineers.
we were the headquarters company, and so we
Thank you.
then they said, okay, you're gonna be a non-volunteer. It is just about us.
I asked him why he did it.
Paid more. So then I ended up as S3 operations sergeant. I must have out in 71.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Three world's a fun world. If you gotta be on staff, it's gotta be in the F3. At least you get the action. Then you help plan the action.
But they were a high
Oh, this is something, they got everything.
interest unit.
Sure.
Yeah, we were
And
SR,
they're
we
every 2 weeks.
were SRF for the last 3 years of my service. We were double drill everything.
Yep. Where's my man Les?
Hi, Les.
Hi, Rick.
How the heck are you?
How you doing, sir? My name's Dylan, nice to meet you.
Okay. I'm myself. 30 years in the Navy.
No way, fantastic.
What a war, too.
Thank you for your service, I appreciate it.
Hey, Les.
Howdy.
Good.
How you doing this morning?
I'm good, sir.
Man,
Good
you're
morning
great
to
with
you.
those shorts and all that.
Oh, he wears them all the time, so.
See you this morning. How you been?
Thank you. I did, yeah, I was,
Beautiful day like this.
fantastic.
Is that UD
Oh,
campus?
it's not gonna miss it.
See you there, can I?
Where did you grow up?
Amber, Quebec.
My younger
Oh,
sister.
Mr. Hall, good to see you. Sorry for the late notice. You wanna get a photo together by the flag?
Oh, here, Joey.
Oh, even better.
It's right up on the conference steps.
I can't get enough. I can't get enough.
I can invite people. Perfect. Thank you for coming. No, it's can we have a flag?
Yeah, wherever you guys want. I'm
Yours
here.
is cleaned up like it was then, so. Oh, I got one, I'll send it to you, so.
Look forward to Yeah,
Do you want to get pictures of you and his parents?
for sure.
Anytime, bro. Everything, you know, any excuse, no excuse to get out of the house.
Staff Sergeant Sager's scholarship. So I didn't know much about it. I seen his name around, and I guess he went to UD and he wrestled here. Then he went to UD. Yeah, he was killed in action. Yeah, so his friends all the way actually here, most of them. Track, Joel, they all wrestled. Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, they were able to set up a scholarship. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Yeah.
I'm glad they
No, yeah. And Rick was like, yeah, I was like,
We'll see you guys
that's
tonight.
even better. Like, he was a wrestler too. He was like,
Probably, I guess, maybe some weekend or. So maybe I'll see you
I don't
again.
really know what it is, but,
See you around.
Rick was just, he said it's more about other stuff.
That's how they come back.
Show her my dress blue, just let her pay respect. He's like,
Nice day, huh? Was it too cold this morning?
Gee, you look like you're a big guy. That's you?
I don't mind sleeping in the chill. I'm down to the house.
Hey, I think we're gonna get rolling here soon, folks.
I'll stick around too. Get more.
No, that's one of the careers. He always tried to get them straight to the Army before they got their education.
Wait, oh, I like that your mom's looking up at you. That's sweet.
And I can explain Army stuff to them as well if they want it, but if they're coming here to come to get an education first,
Yeah, it's a great place.
do it that way, and then they can become an officer. They can get a position of authority quicker and help make decisions quicker. Than the enlisted route, you gotta make it to E5 sergeant before you can start to impact everything, so.
This was our freshman year. That's you,
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I'll give a little center update here. Beautiful day out there today. Go enjoy campus, enjoy this beautiful campus that all of our great investors help us come up with, and all you, which is a lot of you folks, so thank you for that. So generally how we do this is we do a center update, then we present some scholarships. Two of the named scholarships in regards to the veteran community here is the Sergeant Jeffrey B. Dodge Award Scholarship and the Staff Sergeant Ron Sagers Award. So we'll be presenting those today. On behalf of the President Frampton, I welcome you. By the way, I was just telling somebody who's just was at a, was it yours? Was it a grandson or a nephew had in the Space Force? Just commissioned in the Space Force. The President's son is in the Space Force, so he's a big military supporter, so we got a good one again. I'd like to thank some of the plank holders, the Dodge family, the farmers, the Petersons, Mark and Cheryl Falb, the Smeltzers, the Frenches, the Dohertys, the Hodge family, and all of you. And thank you so much for investing in our veterans. The other thing, this year is the 30th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Memorial. So we'd like to give a shout out to Chris Ellec and that crew that were kind of helping, being responsible for putting that here, because obviously the Vietnam era was a very divisive, tumultuous time, and people just didn't want to talk about it. But they were instrumental in that crew in getting the veterans recognized from that era. In fact, it's those veterans that helped us have a better appreciation for veterans to this day. They said no more. And we've tried to do things for the Vietnam era folks as well. Shortly after I got here, we became a member of the Vietnam Commemorative Program, which was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the cessation of activities in Vietnam. So we became a commemorative partner there. We did several different kinds of programming for that. We'd have Cindy Billmeyer would do a Quilts of Valor ceremony. A couple years we concentrated on Vietnam era veterans. We had a showing of the documentary Last Days in Vietnam. Had a great speaker here to interact with the crowd after we presented part of that. Bill Albrecht, I got his book laying there, phenomenal individual. Awarded 3 Silver Stars, looked at for the Medal of Honor. We had the Rocky Blyer play here, which is a Vietnam era veteran. Anybody who's a football fan knows all about Rocky Blyer and his incredible story. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then rookie season was drafted by the United States Army, went to Vietnam, had part of his foot blown off, and still became an MVP and part of the 4 Super Bowl winning Steelers teams. One of the other things we've done as well is we've tried to partner and do different things with veterans in the community and community outreach. And a really new initiative we've done is if you're a veteran with a disability, a VA-rated disability, there are additional programs besides if you had a GI Bill or whether you didn't have a GI Bill. If you're a disabled veteran, there's a program called Veterans Readiness and Employment. Basically what it is, it's not an education program per se, but what it is that a counselor assesses you, what are your talents, and can the VA give you something to achieve that goal to get suitable employment? So we just started this week having the veterans counselors that do that. They come here to the VA counselors come here and use our offices, use our study rooms, and they interview folks that could use that assistance. So again, we're out there doing things, partnering with the community. Some of the other things we do in the community is in 2022, because University of Dubuque's fairly known for doing good things for veterans and helping out. The Iowa Workforce Regional Office Manager called me and said, hey, we understand University of Dubuque's got a good relationship with the veterans in the community. We're trying to start an initiative for women veterans, female veterans. So we had an inaugural get-together here to just start, hey, let's start planning something here. Let's have a wargaming scenario here where we're going to think up things. How can we help women veterans? Well, from that simple meeting and get-together here, there's now a local group called the Tri-State Women Warriors. They're a 501c3. They meet monthly, sometimes twice monthly. They do all kinds of outreach out in the community. They were just in the dragon boat races. They support the honor flight fundraising. They have get-togethers. They're family-friendly. So that was just another neat thing, how the impact of what we do here with veterans and what you folks do by building this center and making us have an opportunity to make community awareness. We are doing great things because of it, so thank you again. What are some of the things that our veterans bring to the table? Well, our student veterans bring critical thinking. They're generally very technically savvy because that's the way the military is anymore. It's very, very technical, very technologically enforced or infused with so many different new things. So it's usually on the cutting edge, actually, of what's going on in the technology world. They got to be creative. They have to multitask. They have to work with a diverse team. And they also have to collaborate with their adjacent organization, their sister element, their other troops, their other services. So they're great fits that way. And this becomes evident when we start looking at our GPAs. Our GPAs for our student veterans are generally about a 0.2 to 3 higher. So like for instance, I think in the last couple of years, we've been averaging students out here about 3.4. Our vets have been averaging a 3+7, 3+8. We've got several that come out here student veterans, way above the norm for the regular student body population, come out here with 4.0s. So it's pretty good stuff. We've had service members come through here that were the rank from private all the way up to colonel. We had a full-bird colonel come through here who was actually a UD alum. He retired from the Air Force, friend of mine. We served together a little while. We played football together a little while in high school. He came here and got his an additional master's degree. We had a first sergeant that I served with come here, and he became a pilot. So we go the gamut. We also have a great ROTC program here. Since 2001, when it was reactivated, we've commissioned about 160 plus Army officers. And if everybody see the media and what's going on in the world today, some of our recruiting strengths have dropped, some of our, especially in the leader roles. So it's very important to be able to have a source to commission officers. Well, we're one of those, and UD does a fine job. One of the other things we do is if we have an adult education program, we have reduced the rate for our undergrad and graduate program to $250 a credit hour for that program. And you just show a 214, which is the document you get when you discharge. And oh, by the way, that applies to your spouse. If your spouse wants to come here, you're going to get that same rate. So again, we try to look out. It's called our Salute to Service program in all of our adult evening programs. We are routinely ranked in the top 25 of military-friendly schools in our category, which is private colleges that offer up to a doctorate level degree. Routinely in the top 20 to 25. And oh, by the way, a side survey that I fill out for that talks about are you military spouse friendly. We've been ranked as high as 9th in that, and usually again in the top 20 or so for that. Another recent thing that a couple of us from UD got together and did was we built a networking organization here in the Dubuque area. It's called the Tri-State Veterans Network. And a couple of us that have some UD connections said, you know, there's these organizations that are just a simple networking thing, but it takes some coordination, it takes some volunteer time. We get with employers that are looking for employees, we get them to host an event. We do it monthly. It seems to work good to go to breweries. So anyway, every month we go to a local establishment since January. Our next one's at Back Pocket Brewery down in the Millwork District, and we have Brown Family of Dealerships, a big car dealership throughout eastern Iowa, sponsors some food. We have other employers come in there. They all give their elevator speech and say, here's what we're looking for. We're looking for these employers. Veterans are welcome in there to come, and their spouses and their family members. And we say, what are you looking for? And oh, by the way, do you need any education? Do you need some other tools in your toolbox to get better employment? We talked to them about the UD programs. We have NICC, the local community college, come in there. So we're just trying to completely throw a big wide net out there to assist our veterans and their families. So the impact is out there. It's funny how things always come to fruition. I think what we're going to do first, I think we're going to save you for last, Dylan. So the Jeff Dodge Award, when we look for the award winners, by the way, the selectees for these scholarships and these awards, I kind of look at the whole student, how they're doing, how do they impact the community here. And Jeff Dodge was very active on campus. He was in a leadership role. So I decided to select this year. She's in the Iowa National Guard. Specialist Ellec Armstead, who's also a cadet here. She's in what's called the simultaneous membership program, where she's in the Guard, but she's also here doing RTC. She's doing outstanding here. She came in from a quiet student from high school to where she's flourished on campus. She's a leader now. She's in so many things. And it's funny how a lot of times the military is kind of a family thing. It's in the DNA. Her mother served and retired as well. So, with no further ado, Travis, if you would hit the thing, here's, again, the commitment. She made this video last night at 11 o'clock and sent it to me. So, she's off to a cross-country track meet in Indiana.
Hello, I'm Ellec Armstead. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here to give you my scholarship speech due to cross-country conflict with my meet today. So that's why I would want to still be able to give it to you in some form. So hopefully you can still hear me through the video, and sorry if it is a little bit blurry, but here it goes. During my freshman year here, I started working here at the Veterans Center. I was here often working on homework, watching movies, and playing pool, and often talking to the security guard who was watching the news whenever he came in for a break. Now, I still do all those things, but I've grown a lot, especially with like time management as a leader within ROTC and a resource member on campus. When I started here, working here at the Vet Center, I didn't really understand who Mr. Jeffrey B. Dodge was, or like why he was, like why the Vet Center was named after him. But after I did some research, I discovered that we were actually quite similar. He was very involved here on campus. For example, he was a 4-year letter winner. He was a tennis team captain, a pledge masters of the 13 years fraternity, the May Fete King of his class, vice president of Cassett Hall House Council, and he was the chief magistrate of the primary court. Like him, as I said before, I'm also very involved on campus. I'm a part of the track cross country team, as well as involved within ROTC, doing intramural sports for ROTC as well. I joined Trio, Proud, and my latest one was the Combative Self-Defense Club, which I'm most excited about because during my time in basic training, I didn't get to learn combatives due to COVID. So I'm glad I can do combatives now and actually become certified in it for level one certification. And as I kind of talked about a little bit earlier, how I've grown a lot, being involved has been able to allow me to grow. I've learned how to be a resource for other students on campus, especially freshmen, which is why I became a peer leader going into my sophomore year. I became a peer leader for freshman orientation. I thought if I could like tell everybody, all the freshmen, like even other students transfers, what I liked about UD, all the great resources I thought we had, it would help make them stay. Especially with veterans, I've hosted quite a few people who are in the military being in my peer leader group, or people who are looking towards joining ROTC as well. I've been able to be a great source for them to get them involved with RIG or within the ROTC program, however they may need to be assisted here on campus. And I think by doing that is helping keep the students enrolled as well as bringing our military population up. And so that's kind of what I do at the Vet Center as well. Mainly Rick does a lot of that, but I'm here to assist whenever he's not in office, or if they just have personal questions about what it's like being a student in the Guard at the same time, or what's it like doing ROTC, or maybe they need help getting certain like funding from the military, like usually Army Ignited, I can help out with that. And I like being a source for that here because I know I struggled with it. I've been in Rick's office multiple times trying to figure it out, and now that I think I have it figured out a little bit, I'm glad I can be that source for other people too, so then they can get the benefits that they need and want. And a couple weeks ago, Rick had mentioned to me how he noticed from the first day I came in to the Vet Center to where I am now, like how much I have grown, not only just as a person, but as a student and as a leader as well. And I'd like to thank that for my military experience, not just basic training, but ROTC as well, because it's taught me to just think about not myself, which is very hard to do in college. You're always thinking about, all the assignments you need to do, all the homework that's going on, and then me being in sports, I'm always training for myself, essentially, since cross country is an individual sport, where being involved more on campus within ROTC has helped me to think outside the box, especially what it's like to plan ahead for future events. It's been a quite humbling experience as well, but I'm glad I've been able to do that because it's broadened my mindset a lot. And as I continued working at the Vet Center, I learned that it became a second home for me. Not just me, but kind of others as well, all the other students who come here. Even some of the ROTC cadets, they come and play pool, come and visit me, or sometimes they even have questions for Rick. But overall, it's kind of like an outlet for all of us student veterans. We can go chill out, do our homework. We know it's going to be like a quiet space. There's always going to be people there who we can talk to, and we can learn from them, ask them about their experiences in the military, what branch they were in, ask any questions that we may want. It's just a great way to network as well. And with the TV there and the pool table, and it's quiet, it's just a great, like, I think, stress reliever, because you know you can do whatever you want there, essentially, when it comes to terms of just taking a breather. And then if it means like you need a quiet space to get your work done, you can also do that there. So I'm really thankful for the Vet Center because of that, because oftentimes I'll try and go to the library and there's not like single study rooms open, where at the Vet Center, thankfully I have my own office now, but even before that, they have the study rooms. There's a whiteboard, and the computers, and being able to print there as well. It's been able to help me continue with my studies and stay on track to be on the Dean's List every year. And I think all the other students can attest to that as well, that they like it just as much for staying on top of their studies as well. So therefore, I'd like to thank Rick for allowing me to continue working here and continue utilizing especially the office space that I have. Hopefully that will be handed off to somebody once I leave. It's just, as I said before, it's just been a great resource for me and other people for our time here at UD. And I'd like to thank everybody else who works kind of like on the outskirts, who help keep the Vet Center going, who help Rick and anybody else that helps the program, I guess, to stay alive for what as veterans may need in the future. And lastly, I'd like to thank the scholarship committee, and I'd like to thank them for choosing me. This is a great opportunity, and it's going to help fund my final year here at college. I'm very appreciated. I didn't expect getting it, and it's just, sorry, I'm a little lost for words right now, but it just means a lot to me, especially because it's my final year here at UD, and all your continuous support is very much appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed, so thank you very much.
So that example of dedication, that the student veterans really put their head down and they go to town, they get their job done, they get their studies done, and they're trying to do what's right and give back around their community here at the University of Dubuque. So the next award, by the way, Ellec was just informed that she was selected to go active duty as an Army officer once she leaves here, so that's a great tribute to her, because it's based on your national ranking, whether or not you get selected to go active duty as an ROTC cadet nationwide, so that's a pretty big honor as well. So let's move on to the Staff Sergeant Ron Sagers. So again, like I said, I kind of look for folks that fit the bill of how Ron Sagers was on campus and what he was like for as far as an individual. So everybody knows Ron was the tough as nails, multi-sport athlete, but he really excelled at wrestling. Well, it just seems to happen this year. I didn't even look into this. I didn't find out until actually I confirmed with Dylan that he was the recipient. I didn't realize he was a wrestler for sure here. So Ron was a huge wrestler here. And again, this year, the Ron Sagers recipient is a great wrestler. So kind of that tough as nails theme here. And I wasn't even trying. Somebody must have been pointing us in the right direction. So Dylan joined the Army in 2014, went to infantry one station school, where he attended airborne training and 11 Bravo infantry training. Infantry. Why is the sky blue? God loves the infantry. After that, he was selected to go to the Ranger Selection Program. He was stationed with the 2nd of the 504th PRI at 82nd Airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He's been to several schools. He was selected to go to sniper school, recon school. He was ultimately picked up by the Scouts. He also has military training as a combat lifesaver, which is like one step below an EMT. He went to airborne school, like I said. As you can see, he's got the airborne boots there. You got to love that black kiwi polish. He also went to SEER school, which is the school you go to if you get captured behind enemy lines and you learn how to survive and get back across get out of Indian territory and back to home base. During a jump, and here comes to the tenacity part again and the tough as nails. During the jump, he experienced a total malfunction of his main parachute and somewhat of a failure of reserve, which when he landed resulted in a broken neck, C6 vertebrae. Due to those injuries, he was reassigned to a line company and was quickly promoted to a team leader. Shortly after, he attended the Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, graduating with distinction. He then shortly after that, after becoming an NCO, his unit deployed to Afghanistan to Helmand Province. Helmand Province was one of the most volatile ones in the country at the time. While there, while in action, him and some of his teammates were awarded the highly coveted Combat Infantryman's Badge. After being discharged from active duty, he went one step further and decided to serve out some of his time with the Illinois National Guard, which he did. And he went to become a physical therapist, changed his MOS from 11 Bravo, where he was at the tip of the spear. He was going to try to go help out folks who got injured on the tip of the spear, so thanks for that. When he arrived at UD, he got invited to become an embedded student coach in our wrestling program. He was trained to help the team reach higher performance levels. After 1 year, the team improved from the 25th in the nation to 8th in the nation, making it the highest finish in UD history. In his junior year, he earned the title of Academic All-American. He wrestled at National Wrestling College Nationals in Louisiana at 165 pounds. Dylan says the university has had a profound impact on his life. He was baptized into the church and began his faith journey here. Dylan. You know how to do this. Let's go this way. Floor is yours, Airborne.
Cool. All right, guys. Wasn't really expecting a speech, so after that introduction, I don't know if there's much to say, but thank you guys for coming out and being here. And first and foremost, I just want to thank Almighty God. And secondly, I want to thank those who have raised me, my mom and my dad, and those who have trained me, and my coaches, Coach John McGovern, Coach Dennis Hall, Coach Jerry Krewald. And I want to thank Staff Sergeant Sagers, his family, and his friends that wrestled with him and knew him. I hope we can continue his legacy here at UD, because it just seems that this college, for whatever reason, though it's small, it's mighty, and it produces a lot of courage. I see that in the graduates, the people in the ROTC program, and the young soldiers that are also on the wrestling team with me. As far as awards go, I don't have many of those. As far as a resume like Staff Sergeant Sagers, both on the mat and in the military. But if there's one thing I did learn from UD, my time here, now that I'm a senior, is that you always get back up. And that no matter who you're wrestling and what you're wrestling with, there's always a chance to win. So thank you guys so much, and God bless you.
Alrighty. Well, again, it's a beautiful day out there. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for investing in our veterans. We got the Lickies and Chewies in there. Please help us eat those. We got wrestlers here, so I don't know how much they're eating them. They're probably thinking they got to cut weight here. So first I thought, well, God, we got a bunch of athletes here. That'll be gone. And I said, oh, no, it's wrestlers. It might not be. So eat up, folks, eat up. Thanks again. Go Spartans. Beat Simpson, right? Yeah, beat Simpson. What's their nickname? Who's Simpson? What's their mascot? Sim Storm. Beat the crap out of the Storm.
Come for the Lord's